today's shir, v'hine. The answer is, first of all, the Rebbe is going to say why the Tanya is good. First of all, I'm speaking to people that I know and recognize. And of course, Chassidim say, in the name of the Frierdiker Rebbe, I think, that Yedei Makira doesn't only mean his Chassidim, any Jew till Mashiach who will learn Tanya is called Yedei Makira the Alter Rebbe. The Alter Rebbe Baruch HaKodesh had us all in mind.
Say that again?
I think the Frierdiker Rebbe. That means every single one of the Chassidim in our country. The nearby lands. There were words of love available between us. They revealed to me all the hiddenness of their hearts and their mind in the service of the Eibishter. Which is dependent upon the heart. So I'm not speaking to strangers. I'm speaking to people that I know well. People who are honest with me, people I would be able to be honest with them. On them my words drip. Ate safer than my tongue, the pen of a writer. When these pamphlets, which carry the name Lakutei Amarim, a collection of sayings, and Melukatim, they're collected in Pisfarim from books, the Arizal and the Shalah, or would be safe men from writers, the Baal Shem Tov and the Maggid. Kadesh Shayalyan Nishmasa made their holy ones above their souls, which are known by us. In addition, some of the ideas in this sefer and the Ramaz and the Chkim are hinted for the wise. In the Halakha letters, that we receive from my Rebbe Yisrael, which means that Mendel Haradok and Avram Kaleski. The Rebbe says, I'm collecting ideas from the Arizal, from the Shalah, from the Maral, some people say, from the Maggid, from the Baal Shem Tov, and also from the Mendel of Vitebsker and from the Avram Kaleski. Drach ben Avoida for Chassidim and Yidden that I know. And therefore, not only I'm going to write to them, I'm going to write to them in a way that they'll be able to find Makayim Madrigas and B'Teif. And some of them actually heard from their holy tongues directly, the mouths directly. Be'yes and Pei Imanu when they were with us here today in Russia. Now, the Kulam Hein, this entire sefer from beginning to end, is Tshuvas al Shailas Rabbis. It's answers to many questions. Ashashel and Be'et, the people ask advice. All the Chassidim of our country, Talmud all the time, each one according to his measure. People need Avodas Hashem counsel. They all ask me questions, and I've included the answer to all the questions in this sefer. To place counsel in their souls. So the first point is that I know you, and I'm not writing to strangers, and it's based on what I heard from my Rabbeim and Azevite. Number two, there's simply not enough time anymore. There's no time to answer each one individually. There's no time for yechidus for each one. And therefore, the sefer will replace the yechidus. Number three, people forget. Therefore, I brought the answers to all the questions. To be guarded, is a sign. It should be for each one a memory between his eyes. Whether it could be even Chassidim who heard attack from the Alter Rebbe befedish in Yechidus. The Alter Rebbe says, nevertheless, you need to have the Tanya to remind you of the eitzes that I gave you. Number one, I know you. Number two, there's not enough time. Number three, in case even you heard it from me, you shouldn't forget it. And therefore, you shouldn't push anymore to go in to speak to me in Yechidus. Because in the eitzes that I wrote in Sefer Tanya Kadisha, you'll find calm to your spirit. And good counsel, anything which is hard for him. And his heart should be ready to trust the Eibishter, because we have to do our best in serving the Eibishter, and the Eibishter will finish the Avodah for us. So you got to try your best, Alter Rebbe says, and the Eibishter will help. But the Tanya is a good replacement of Yechidus for the reasons the Alter Rebbe outlined. And there's one more point, and that is the idea of Mashpiyah. Me should I take a thought of a person's knowledge is narrow. Who cannot understand counsel, practical aids from these pamphlets. Should present his question, his words, for the great Chassidim in his city, and they should give it explaining to him. And then my request, they shouldn't put their hand over their mouth, not to speak. L'isnaik, to behave anova, v'shiflet, so check out the show with the humility and the lowliness, which is a lie. U'kaneida, in Shabbat, known the bitter punishment. Almenei, about one who holds back food. You have what to give and you don't give it. V'geid, l'schad, they get reward for those who do give. That when a person helps another person, it lights up the eyes, not only of the one being helped, but the one doing the helping. The Eibusher should shine his face upon those who help the Chassidim who need help. You're understanding the Tanya. The light of the face of the living God. So Alter Rebbe says, in addition to the reasons that I know you, and there's no time, and the Shikha Mitzuya, there's the fourth point that there's Mashpiyim. And if you have a hard time figuring out how the Tanya speaks to you, go speak to a Mashpiyah. And for the source of our life, the Eibishter, Yizakenu v'Yachayenu, should give us the schus and keep us living. To a time, mashallah, people will no longer teach one another. Every single Yid will know the Eibishter himself. Will all know knowledge of Hashem. So the first paragraph was the Kashis. Hayitach, you write a Tanya instead of Yechidus. And the second paragraph is the Terutzim. And Bekitza Nimras, the Tanya is Yechidus. And the Tanya is Avoida, not Haskalah. Now goes the classical Haskama. You're worried about copyright, like we had in the Leiba Kain, and B'zush Mahanapol, and Neagon HaMachabed, that they wrote a Haskama to protect the investment of the publisher. So the Alter Rebbe does the same thing. After the pamphlets were publicized amongst Chassidim, you should know that in the Madura Kam of Tanya, Alei Chamishim Eker was Perek Aleph. And Tanya B'sei Perek Gimel Denidu was Perek Beis. And this last shtickle was completely missing. No, it was actually Nun Aleph Perakim. This Lamed Beis is missing and Lamed is missing. When the Alter Rebbe rewrote the Tanya, he made this into Hakdama and he added the last paragraph. That the pamphlets which were publicized amongst Anash, Ba'atokes rabbis in many copies, and they Sfarim Sheinim, different writers, Umishunim, and strange writers. Strange, of course, means people who forged the Tanya on purpose. Hine, it's based in so many copies. There was a mistakes, more and more mistakes, very much, including mistakes made on purpose. Well, and therefore, there was a donation of the Spirit. Of these honorable people, whose names I mentioned above, on the other side of the page, in Ebzushim Hanapolis Haskama and so forth, Litreach, to exert themselves begufam with their bodies and their money. Lahavias could take some analabase that was to bring these pamphlets to the printing house. Menukim because Sigurd Tasefim fixed clean from all sig means small damages and mistakes. Umugoim hated and properly edited. Va'amina lapala tova, and I speak to a good deed and I say Yasha Chela. Thank you very much. The pasuk says explicitly, "Order masa givul re'eu." Cursed is one who steps over the boundary of his fellow. The order, and the meaning of the word order is beiklala, by nidoy, bechas v'shalom v'chuli. Al kain, therefore, ki Yehuda ve'ed lekra. Even though it's a fetish halach and teresh b'ksav teresh b'peh, I am coming as Yehuda ve'ed lekra. Even though there's a pasuk, I'm coming also to say this, a warning on top of the isser of hasakas gevul, which is the Raisa and the Rabbanan. Kasin, I come lemishdi to place guda rabba, a great fence, a great chedem. I'll call them atfisim on all printers. Shalei lahatvas katesim, and now not to print these pamphlets. Leil de atma, not themselves. V'lei they geared not through their own shluchim. Built it a shus and a kuvma now without permission from the people whose names I mentioned above. For the period of 5 years from the end of the print, and like I told you that in most copyrights, if they would reprint it, the 5 years would start over again and again. And those who heed this warning, Yeinoam should be answered with blessedness, and it should bring on them a blessing of good. These are the words of Malakit, these collection of Amorim. And notice that the Alter Rebbe does not sign his name. In the Tanya, the way it was printed, the Alter Rebbe's name was not printed b'chlal. It came out b'halem shem. Everybody knew it was the Alter Rebbe's, but it came out b'halem shem. And tomorrow we'll do it.